Jones.
Oh, folks, if I knew today was going to be this beautiful, I would have done everything I could have in my power to cancel today so we would have the day off. I can't believe we don't get days off for beautiful days like this, but we are looking at some of those really dry temperatures as well as some of those record-setting temperatures, and we're set to make our way all the way up into those 90s. Not quite sure how good this groundhog did. Now, made our way down back and forth between those 50s, really seeing that southerly flow pick back up. Then we rallied all the way up into those mid-80s, and we're already cooling off pretty slowly despite seeing some of these clear skies. Pretty warm across the entire area. 86 in San Angelo, everybody else in a combination of those mid-80s across the entire region. 81 way up there in Sterling City, down to the southeast. 85 down there in Junction, looking like 4 degrees across the entire Concho Valley, but it's pretty toasty out there unless you want to count the 5 between here in San Angelo and Sterling City. That's pretty good. When we talk about some of those heating values, no one's going to disagree with how hot it is, but everybody might not be so happy about how dry it is. Dew points down there near those freezing points, while the humidity indices awfully dry out there in those teens, if not those 20s. When we talk about the moisture tracker, that's where we're keeping our eye on some of this instability making its way in from the Gulf Coast. We can see some of those cloudy mornings before we see this cutoff low, try to figure out what it's going to do as it makes its way over the Rocky Mountains. So we're looking at some dry air, mostly those systems staying to the north, but it's going to gradually cool us all the way down into those 50s. Not really going to be gradual. It's going to be pretty quick. Now it's going to be all the way up into those 90s by Friday. Going to be a beautiful weekend. Then as Monday starts, we're keeping our eye on this cutoff low that will try to push us down about 40 degrees into those 50s, but it's on the countdown until Valentine's Day. So when we look at the water vapor imagery, here's the dry air over us right now. A monster winter storm pushing over the Rocky Mountains. We were looking at it last week. Here it is right now, looking at another 3 feet of snow across the entire Rocky Mountains, at least in Colorado, where they're slated to see another, I think, 30 feet of snow across some of the areas in California, along with flash flooding. When we look at the severe weather outlook, quiet as far as severe weather, but we take you down to the surface, a whole lot of winter weather alerts across the entire Rocky Mountains up into Montana, and then take a good look at the rest of the nation. Absolutely quiet, just beautiful weather as we push up near those records. Now, we're not the only place setting a record. It's all the way from West Texas, and it's going to continue to push off east. We take it into the future cast because we have our eye on some of these cloudy mornings. Could see a little bit of mist, a little bit of drizzle for Tuesday morning, then it clears out. Same thing for Wednesday, and then as we make our way into Thursday, it starts to make its way in, and then I run out of data. By lunchtime, we could see a lot of this cloudy conditions push out, so we're going to see a lot of those humid values as well. So tonight, all the way down into those beautiful 50s underneath those clear skies. Then tomorrow, a good run at those 70s. We're looking out for some of that early morning drizzle. Then by lunchtime, it will clear up. So it's going to be a pretty mild day as we continue to make our way through that first week of February. Take a good look at Wednesday, all the way up into those 80s by Friday, all the way up into those 90s. And that includes by the big game. But by Sunday, dropping all the way 40 degrees down into those 50s. Here comes that cold front, while those overnight lows go from those 60s all the way down into those 30s. Stay tuned. I'll bump for the break. You're watching KSAN News at 5.